Hi guys, hello and welcome to HRL Season 9, Round 11 here on Barvo Speedway. Starting order here on Barvo is going to be Luke up front, Detail, Slaunch, Jared, Roman, Real Dill, Fireball, sorry it's all out of order, Juns, Killa, and Hunter. Here we go, green flag. Going to be doing our last classic commentary here, entire classic commentary for HRL Season 9. So off to a pretty decent start. Got a 3 wide in the middle. Looks like it separates a bit. Now we have like 3 separate 2 wides there. Whoa, the inside definitely slowed up quite a bit there on the exit of the corner. Looks like it's Fireball going to force that inside. Maybe like a 4 wide there for a second. And it looks like the top 3 has gotten stretched out a bit, but those backpack battles are still going on. A nice 4-way battle there. Whereas like the top 4 are kind of settled. And it's crazy because if you're in that 4-way battle, you're probably thinking like, oh my god, I'm really far at the back. But you beat that 4-way battle, you get away from it, you're already like battling for top 4, so it's really not that bad. So I think that's Real Deal there, going to start a battle for 4th. Sorry, it's hard to see. I have a really small preview screen. Maybe we need to up this up a little bit. Did I just say up this up? Wow. I could have just said expand. Anyways. Looks like we got Detail, Luke, and Slaunch as the top 3 right now. And pretty solid battle right there. Pretty even gaps. And remember, this is going to be... Let me check out the laps here. It's going to be quite the sizable race. I think we have 100 laps. The heat races were 15 laps. I'll go over those results in just a second here. And the pit interval is 30. So it could be some potential strategy there. Heat race results. Luke and Detail won the heats. First heat and second heat respectively. And that second heat, I don't really remember the first one, but I do remember the second one was hilarious. Like I think, I'm not exactly sure who it was, but I remember like somebody taking somebody out, and Detail was like in last and ended up stealing the win because everybody was just conking each other. It was something like that. I just remember it being a really funny heat, but you know, really interesting, dumb heats to lead the way into the feature that usually leads to good vibes, good racing if the heats are exciting. And from what I can recall, the heats were pretty solid here. For this 10-man final Barvo race for quite a while. And as you will see, now there is a new problem that arises, and you'll see that, but as you'll see, the cushion issue has been fixed. I don't think a single random cushion flip happens throughout this race, but there were still some cushion flips for an entirely different reason, and I'm not going to spoil it, but you will see, and it is not the same issue that we had before. That issue is definitely fixed. But with that issue being fixed, you're able to run the cushion a little bit harder than before, and a new issue arises. And you'll see it happen at least, I believe, at least 3 times I caught it. And it may happen more than that. I maybe just didn't see it. So, but I'm not going to spoil it. You'll see what happens. It's pretty dumb. So definitely, if Barvo's raced in the future again, definitely something I would recommend to be removed from the track. And again, you'll see it. Just don't want to spoil it. Don't want to spoil it. So remember, leading into this race, let me go through the full results from Guerco just to give you an idea of the points standings right now. So Detail is, finished first, is in the lead with 33 points. Luke with 28 points in second. Real Dill third with 23 points. Slaunch fourth with 21. Roman fifth with 20. Hunter sixth with 18. Jun seventh with 17. Jared eighth with 17 actually, tied up with Juns. And Fireball ninth with also 17. Interesting. Killa 10th with 14, and Vulcan 11th, who I believe is out at this point with 13. So there is your little update on the championship battle. So Detail definitely with the advantage off that good race of Guerco. But again, I mean, Barvo is a track where you could go from having a good race, like he's leading a lot of laps right now. Barvo is a track where you could go from having a good race to having a bad race real cool. That was close. Real quick. And now we're going to have a battle for second between Slaunch and Luke off that close encounter right there. I remember every lap Detail leads here is huge, because if he could get the most laps led, that would potentially be a humongous boost to his road to the championship here for the grand finals and the regular season, because he's going for both. So the way it's looking after Guerco, he's pretty much got that regular season championship, as far as I'm aware, locked up. We have some early pits here. But the grand finals championship, obviously only one race in, still up for grabs. But we'll have a better idea of how that grand finals championship is going after this race. And you also got to remember, Mirabilis historically is a pretty solid track for Detail. So, like, Barvo is one that he's won on before, but it's usually pretty contested. Guerco, kind of the same thing. Like, he has a moto win there, but I don't think he has an overall. So Guerco's been kind of competitive. If I think about it, I believe it was Fireball, right? Got the overall in Guerco, and then the next season we raced it, Real Deal got it. And then we had, obviously, Detail won it this time. So that was one where it could have been pretty competitive. Clutched up with the win there. He's usually got a pretty good winning history on Mirabilis. And then Barvo is kind of a toss-up. So, like, this is the most important race for Detail here, because now that he's won Guerco, he's in a really safe spot, because you know he'll finish, like, second at worst on Mirabilis. So it's really going to come down to this race for him. And if you're the other racers, if you're like Real Deal here, or Slaunch, or Luke, or Roman trying to steal this Grand Finals championship, you're looking for, hopefully, Detail to get a bad finish here. You want him to get a bad finish here so that you can make up some of those points going into Mirabilis. And then, you know, if Detail had a bad finish here, I think if somebody were to beat him, they would have to steal, like, second place at Mirabilis, because he's pretty strong at that track historically and will probably win it. So you gotta hope to, like, just, you know, maybe win the heat to get an extra bonus point, maybe, you know, lead a lap or two off your Joker just to get an extra bonus point there, and just do everything you can with the bonus points on Mirabilis and just try to win this Barvo race. So basically what I'm getting at is, if Detail doesn't win this Barvo race, then I think whoever wins this Barvo race is the person that is in greatest contention to potentially take him down on Mirabilis. So yeah, if you're any of those other contenders I just mentioned, Luke, Real Deal, Slaunch, and Roman, just read them right off Guerco results right there. If you're any of those contenders, you are looking to go for this win. Like, this is the race that could potentially determine your chances at this championship. So it's going to be a huge one. Guerco was also their race. Roman, historically pretty fast at Guerco, got snubbed the previous time we raced it, but pretty fast. Fireball, kind of out of it after the Guerco race, I would say, but you know, he was fast there, always fast there. Slaunch, usually not too great at Guerco, but had a decent finish this time, so that was big for him. Real Deal, again, like, for him and Roman, I say, like, that's the race they needed to steal. Real Deal and Roman, if they wanted a really good shot, Slaunch going for the pit there, by the way, I think Roman and Real Deal really needed to finish, like, 1-2, something like that at Guerco, if they wanted a really good shot. Switching to a different battle here. But yeah, so now that that's out of the way, it's like, well, now you kind of have, like, before, if they did good at Guerco, they'd have a little bit of a cushion here. Now they have to perform here, and they need it here. And if they don't get it here, I don't think it's going to be looking too good for Mirabilis. Ooh, getting close between Fireball and Real Deal. Not the most dirty thing ever, though. Fireball was, did not crash, just got some crazy two-wheelage. Got a little scary, probably Cheech's clenched. But, you know, not that bad. Not that bad. Could have been worse. But yeah, so going through what I was talking about, I pretty much just gave the rundown on how this championship battle is going to go down. So the fact that Detail clutched up at Guerco is huge for his battle, and is going to definitely put the pressure on everybody else, I would say. Because if Detail did not win Guerco, then you would have a situation where it's like, all right, he'll probably perform at Mirabilis. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's not the last time that's going to happen during this race, by the way. But yeah, so what I was saying, you'd probably get in a situation where it's like, okay, yeah, he'll probably still do really well at Mirabilis, probably like second at worst. But you know, like, once you get, what we've seen in the past is that if you get multiple wins in a grand final, you're usually set. Like, if you get multiple wins in a grand final, you're usually set, and that's why it's so scary for the other drivers right now. Because if he didn't win that, then it'd be like, okay, this is a potential grand final situation where we might have like three different races, 3 different winners. But that, like I said, that clutch at Guerco was huge. Very, very huge. And it's interesting because I think Detail Season 7 actually was more so on other types of tracks, like Supercross wins, Rallycross wins. Off the top of my head, I'd have to double check that. But this season, his 2 wins this season are that Guerco race and Beckham Beach GP, so 2 GP races, and now he's relying on that Mirabilis to be his first Rallycross. So bit of a switch up back to, like, usually expect him to do good on GP, then Season 7. Oh, there it is again. That might be our first caution. There it is again. But yeah, I go to Season 7, overall in an RX, overall in an SX, overall in an RX, and yeah, he only got 1 overall on a GP during Season 7, whereas he had 3 of his overalls on Rallycross and 1 on Supercross even. No oval overalls, though, from that season, although he did get 2 moto wins on ovals, so also important to mention that. And he did get quite a few. To be fair, he did get quite a few moto wins on the GPs. Now that I look at it, he only missed out of the 6 GPs raced, right? 6 GPs, yep. He got a moto win on 4 of them. He just got snubbed for the overall on 3 of them. So still a pretty good GP performance, but I'm just saying that like for this season, it's interesting that, you know, compared to his season 7 regular season championship, for this season it's going to be more of a focus back on the GP. And for these other drivers, like this season, a bit of a switch up too. Real Deal, usually performing pretty well in those GPs. Season 7 was a little off, but this season, even though he hasn't gotten the win, his GP performances have been there. A 3rd on Beckham, a 2nd on Altaterra, and a 3rd on Guerco. So still solid performances, just not able to get to the top step of the podium. But I think what's kept Real Deal in the battle this season is his RX game also stepped up quite a bit. You know, 3rd on Genoa, 2nd on Latvia. Again, not able to get that win, but just getting up there, staying up there in the podium spot. And I think that's been the difference for Real Deal this season. Like for the regular season championship and potentially for the grand finals here too, he just needs that win. Like that's the difference for him. He needs that win, and that would just change so much for him. And then we go elsewhere. I think Real Deal also potentially improved his Supercross performance as well. But interestingly, the Supercross was just Detail, Slaunch, and Luke throughout the entire season on the podium this season. So that's interesting. That was the most consistent top 3. The only one that I can talk about besides GP, that was the most consistent top 3 all season. Luke got 2 wins, Slaunch had the 1, Detail had 2 seconds, 1 third. Okay, so yeah, Luke got 2 wins and a 2nd, Detail got 2 seconds and a 3rd, and then Slaunch got 2 thirds and a 1st. So that was the most consistent podium all season, was the Supercross races. It was between those 3 drivers, just between them. Sorry, I don't know. I was having fun commentating the race, but I just got in the stats here, and now I'm just kind of invested. For ovals, though, let me check out the ovals. Well, I guess I can't talk about ovals yet. I'm dumb. For GPs, it was Detail, Luke, Real Deal, Luke, Real Deal, Detail, and Detail, Luke, Real Deal. So interestingly, I think the consistency stepped up quite a bit with this format, because you look at that, same podium drivers for SX, and then same podium drivers for the GPs. For the GPs, it was Detail with 2 wins and a 3rd. For Luke, it was 2 seconds and a 1st. And for Real Deal, it was, I would say, what, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, right? 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. So there you go. Interesting right there. I want to talk about the RX results and how consistent those were, and the GP or the oval results as well. But that'll be something I'll try to remember for Mirabilis, because obviously I can't talk about either of those yet. But I do find it interesting, because one of the ideas that I had about this season's format with that it would increase the consistency, and that you at least see that, at least with SX and GP, like the podium, I'd like to look at the top 5 as well, but the podium, very, very consistent. Like same 3 people for both sets of tracks, just switching up their spots. So I don't know, found that interesting. Nice battle here between, is it Fireball and Slaunch, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm invested in the stats. So I'm just going to look for more cool stuff. I don't know. I just thought about, I was looking at it and I'm like, wow, that's kind of interesting. I never thought about that before, and then just kind of got invested in it, I suppose. My bad. I'll go back to commentating. We need to wait for another caution. I need to get back on track. I got too sucked into the stats. Just enjoy this battle between Slaunch and Fireball. One of them's probably going to hit that frickin' skeleton on the exit of turn 4 in a second, probably. By the way, I don't even remember that, but if it happens, that's going to be amazing. Watch, it's going to happen right now. Right now. Ah. Couple laps. Give it a couple laps. But it's Barvo, you know, there's clean green flag racing right now. You know it's not going to end like that. There'll be a caution, there'll be a green-white checkered or something like that, or just like a late race caution. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. No spoilers saying that. You know what to expect. You know what's going to happen. It's the same way every time. Whoa, that pit entry right there for Oh! Oh, he barely missed it. Barely missed it. I thought that was it. Dang it. So close. So very close right there. Oh, by the way, one thing. Also, I didn't want to, like... I also mentioned the Jared champion, but how crazy of a season was Season 9? Jared, a team champion, and Sector, a race winner. How the hell does that happen in the same season? Season 9 really is the best season, huh? Oh, Fireball messed up his pit there. That's going to hurt him a lot. And if he wanted any hope at, like, maybe salvaging, like, a top 5 for this grand final, he needs, like, a win here. He needs a win here and a solid Mirabilis performance. but I think he kind of conked it there. That pit's not going to help him. But at the same time, this is an oval race. Got to remember, Fireball's strong at the ovals. He has an oval win this season. And yeah, obviously previous Oval Series champion. So you got to expect him to come into the game late and always be there in a position to win. Wow, this season was really nice competition-wise. Just looking at these stats. Wow. Getting towards the later half of the race here. Not quite there, but getting there. Lap what is that? 76 out of 100. So we're getting pretty close. Oh, there it is. No caution for it, but there it is. Another crash because of the pink skeleton. Yeah, that should definitely change. Well, I guess that's like a note to if this track is raced in the future, definitely whoever does it, or just somebody, please somebody just make a version of the track without those dudes in the red, because they were like a cool aesthetic in the stands, but now that the walls are really clean, yeah, I don't know if they should be on the walls. It's probably not the best idea anymore. But hindsight's 2020. Always fix it in the future. Let me see if I can get some other cool stats from well, I'm not sure if there are any other cool stats, because all the other cool stats I could get, I'd have to wait for these 2 races to finish, so unfortunately no stats to talk about. Wah. Sorry about that. I tried. I wanted to, but oh well. Because I wanted to. Alright. Alright, you know what? Let's find some more interesting stats. I'm just gonna look for them. Actually, this is gonna be annoying to look for, but I'm gonna look for it anyways. Let's look at, while the race is going on here, before we get to the next major caution, because you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna look up and find previous Barvo performances, like race winners, stuff like that, just because I'm curious now. Because I have looked at this before, but it's been a minute. Don't exactly remember it all, and I think that would be an interesting stat going in towards the end of this race to enlighten you guys on. So let me get the final schedule up here, and then I can get back with that data. All right, here we go. So here's the entire history of Barvo. Nice little battle here, by the way. Detail. Oh, Roman going in for the pit. There's Detail, Roman, and Slaunch, but Roman just went in for the pit. Oh, barely avoided it. So here's our Barvo history. Barvo first raced. It's the second race of Season 3. Overall winner was Slaunch, with Luke winning the first moto and Slaunch winning the second moto. And then we go to Season 4. Season 4, Barvo. Where is Barvo in Season 4? There it is, 4th race of Season 4. And Hunter. Probably a lot of people forget about this. Hunter takes the overall win on Barvo in Season 4. And how crazy was Barvo in Season 4? Hunter takes the overall, the first moto victory, and Camby took the second victory, the second moto victory. So that is crazy. That's probably one of the most interesting Barvo races, just result-wise. Then we have Season 5. Barvo was the 12th race, just getting farther up the schedule. 12th race in Season 5. And we had Detail take his Barvo overall there, winning the first moto. Roman took the second moto, but Detail did hold on to the overall. Then we go to Season 6. Season 6, Barvo at around 11 this time. And this time, Real Deal this was a pretty memorable Barvo race because of how important it was for the championship. Real Deal clutched up a sweep there at Barvo with the overall win. And like I said, sweep. So Moto 1 victory and Moto 2 victory. So that was huge for Real Deal. That was a very important Barvo race championship-wise. Probably the most important. Then we go on to Season 7. There it is, Barvo round 6. And this time, Luke takes the overall at Barvo this time. Detail winning the first moto, Luke winning the second. So yeah, interesting Barvo results now that I look at that. So up to this point, it was Slaunch with an overall, Hunter with an overall, Detail with an overall, Real Deal with an overall, and then Luke with an overall. And then we go to Season 8, and again, it's just one race for Season 8. In Season 8, Luke ended up winning it with Real Deal second and Detail third. So, some interesting Barvo results there. And did I mention for Season 7 it was... Yeah, I mentioned it. It was Detail first moto, then Luke second. Luke took the overall. Okay. I believe I said that. And then obviously we have what happens here at Season 9. So just to give you those stats there, to give you maybe an idea on a prediction on what these results are going to be. for this race? Oh, shat. I messed up, didn't I? Oh, fudge. Forget what I said about the results. So the Season 8 results for the Barvo race. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. So the Season 8 results, do believe I'm correct, for the first part. Barvo was the last race of Season 8, and Luke took the win, Fireball took second, and Slaunch took third in that race. So just to give you guys that idea of like what the results are and, you know, past race winners, like what we could be in here for at Barvo. The one that I'm most curious, like if I wanted to rewatch one of these, now I'm really curious because of that, oh, is this the late race caution? I think it might be. Now I'm really curious about that Season 4 one with Hunter winning the overall, the first moto, and Camby winning the second moto. Like that sounds like that's like the outlier of all the Barvo performances. So that one just sounds interesting to me. So with that, we're gonna have a late race caution. Did we change the amount of laps? Is it? Oh, wait, what? Oh, I know. I remember now. My bad. Okay. So I see, because I looked at it and I was like, wait a second. Lap 100, why are we not, you know, why are we not done? Now I remember. I think because we raced the heats, I'm trying to remember what we used. Was it like 20 laps? Did we start on 20? Right? Because the heats were 15, so that would be like a good even number, I would assume. I think so. So the point is, I think there's about 20 laps left. There's like 20 laps or so left here at this green flag. Oh my god! That could potentially be a caution right away. 4 wide for second. Oh! Yeah, now there's definitely going to be a caution. Well, another caution coming out. Not going to commentate too much on that. We'll just wait. Gotta get back into it, man. You know it's Barvo. You know there's going to be a crazy finish in these last 20 laps. I am ready to call it. So here we go, another restart. We got Luke and Roman on the front row. Real Deal and Detail following them up. Green flag. With very few laps remaining. Oh, Real Deal with a strong move to the inside. Gonna battle for the lead. We got a 3 wide there in the back. Roman in third, lurking, potentially trying to make a move here. Real Deal, oh, the crossover for the lead. Luke's gonna go back into the lead, but Real Deal's still in a good spot here, but you also have Fireball working his way into the mix. We have like a 4 wide battle for the lead, but Real Deal has a crazy run off the cushion and is going to give himself a cushion in that lead spot. Now it's going to be a good second place battle between Luke and Roman. And Luke's going to get away from Roman for now. So now it's settled out to Real Deal, Luke, Roman, and Fireball. And Fireball sliding in on Roman into his DMs for third. Potentially trying to get a nude. Can he pull it off? Side by side. Emojis coming out. Nothing happening quite yet. Potentially a third entering the room. Now it's getting kinky. But it looks like that third driver is... Oh, nope. Still running that inside. Oh, and Roman got conked. He was actually the one that got the nude. Not what he was expecting out of that exchange. And potentially another late race caution coming here. We'll see what happens. I think that might be a caution. Couldn't really tell. So let's see if they hit it on the backstretch here. Yeah, I believe so. Okay. So another caution. And here we go with another restart. We're going to have Real Deal up front, Luke second, Fireball third. Let's see how this goes. Who is the driver in fourth? Who is that? Who is that? All right, here we go. Green flag. Is that Juns? Might be Juns. Oh, what was that? Contact immediately with Roman and Hunter. Now we have like a 4 wide already, of course. As with most Barvo restarts, getting shoved to the inside, then bouncing back to the outside. Drivers all over the track. 3 wide still. Fireball with a huge dive and takes out Real Deal for the lead. And a potential caution off of that with the late race cheese. So yeah, Fireball, way to go. I know it's been a couple months now, but way to go, ruining the end of 2 oval races in a row, yeah, futchin' cuck. We're going to end this here now, and I believe we had to, you know, hit Fireball with a boot, so going to get loaded into another film here for not a green-white checkered, but I believe it's going to be 5 laps to go, and we're going to go back to that same order, so it's going to be Real Deal, Luke, Slaunch now, commandeering the third place spot. potentially playing a role at the end of this race again. Green flag, approximately 5 laps to go. 3 wide already in the middle. Luke hitting the fat cushion, goes to the middle. That's a potential power move. Slaunch is going to get that momentum with him and maybe take advantage. Holds the inside, gets in front of Real Deal. There comes Luke off the cushion. Close three-wee. Battle for the lead. And we got Real Deal and Slaunch now battling for second. Luke's opened up a cushion in the front. Can Real Deal get the dive? He cannot. We also have Detail working his way back into the picture, and that could be huge. Remember, like I was saying, if he gets a decent finish here, it could be locked up for that final race. Crazy battle for third place. That is actually all Details right now, if he can hold them off. Still plenty of hungry drivers, though, behind him trying to take it away. Luke and Real Deal pretty much got this first and second locked down at this point if there's no caution. Three-way battle still for third, though. And this is huge. Those drivers need Detail to not finish in the podium. These guys need to get ahead of him before we get to the end of the race, and we are very close to the end here, potentially getting the white flag soon. That might have even been it. Here we go. Well, if that's not it, then this is it. We'll see. We'll see. And it looks like it's stretched out quite a bit, and that is the race. Luke takes the win, Real Deal second, and Detail will hold on to the third. Close finish for fourth, but it is Roman actually edges it out over Hunter is what it looked like. Potentially a replay on that soon. But here we go. Official results. Crazy battle. Awesome restart. It's going to be Luke, Real Deal, Detail, Roman, Hunter, Slaunch, Juns, Fireball, Jared, and then Killa. So after that race, it's pretty much between Luke and Detail. Like, those are going to be the two duking it out at Mirabilis. And Luke's won at Mirabilis before. Detail's won at Mirabilis plenty of times. It's going to be a close battle, but this time Detail's had him like quite the last couple times. Luke's going to have to pull some magic here. Very close last season at Mirabilis. Needs to actually seal the deal this time and take that win from him if he wants to get this final grand finals. Detail's got to keep up that momentum that he's had at Mirabilis and just get another win in a row if he wants to take it. But great Barvo race right there. Glad that was the last one that I'm calling. See you guys for Mirabilis.